I do not keep all of these in here, but for the sake of this video, since I'm using them right now, they will be here. I'm just partially showing this to you so you know that we have a lot to discuss. Here we go. Hello everyone. Welcome to another Budget With Me video, part 2 for March. I had to go get the money in parts because, for one, I couldn't catch the bank on the weekend to get my denomination, so we have tons of 20s and we're gonna figure it out. Come with a classic, they come around years later and say it's a sleeper. The ears are real, the petty is real. Watch your life for a feature. Deposit the money to Brenda Letitia, Belinda Felicia. She gave me twice, I give you for place. You know I'm a pleaser. 42 mil, I'm needed. Was made at Geneva. Yeah, I probably. The tail end of the first quarter of the year. I'm excited about it. Finally. It just took me 3 months. But we're here now. I have my notebook. I don't want to get too far off track. We are going to switch it up a little bit because the cash envelope stuffing was getting very cumbersome, very confusing. I figured I would talk you through what's going on in this particular budget that will take us into the first week of April. So many 20s. At some point, I do need to unstuff. No more change. Yeah, not a lot of change. I've been swiping my card a lot. So some of the cash that you're gonna be seeing will already go back into the account. Let me start with some positives. In the first quarter of the year, I'm proud of myself because I was able to keep up with the savings challenge that I created. I got the idea from a random Google image, made it my own, put in my numbers that I felt comfortable with, and I told myself that whenever I complete it, all of that money will go towards debt payoff. And, you know, once I feel comfortable, then that money will actually go to the emergency fund. As for now, that money is only going towards the first debt that we're wanting to pay off this year. It's time to say goodbye to the raggedy piece of paper that I called my savings challenge. Let me show you. Yeah. I mean, you were good for the moment. You did what you were supposed to do. I thank you. I appreciate you, but I'm embarrassed. So finally, I have a copy for my planner. I don't use color in my planner at all, but I figured for this, since, I mean, it won't be in my planner long, I would use my mild liners frequently. The other colors are at work, but this is what I have. Old Faithful, mild gray. I don't even know what these other colors are, to be honest. This is, they call this green, just green. I don't know how this one is just called green when it's looking lime to me, but okay. Violet, and they're calling this dark blue, but we know better than that. That is not dark blue, that is periwinkle. So we might as well go ahead and knock out March, the second savings for March. I don't know what we're gonna get. It better be a low number like $2. Can it be $2, please? I mean, please. Speak it into existence, why don't y'all? Let me move that. My hand's ashy, how embarrassing. Okay, anyway. G61. I definitely threw this polish on here. Anyway, G61. What is that? $8. Another month of just 8s. 8 is my favorite number, by the way. Do I have 3 paychecks in March? Cool. I know you saw it. I finally got it in my planner. Finally, I made it look like something. I'm proud of me. I hope you're proud of me. Next, I'm proud of myself for understanding that the budget is constantly changing. I can say that yes, I would like my groceries to be $70 every 2 weeks, but let's be honest, sometimes it won't be. And then with everything going on over there and everywhere, prices are increasing. So the budget has to fit what's happening now. And even though the type of items I'm purchasing aren't
changing, the prices are going up, so my budget has to reflect that. Same thing with my gas budget. I was budgeting $300 a month for gas now that I'm no longer working from home. I don't even know what that budget has to look like for Q2 because this is the first real month I have with an influx in gas prices. So we will find out together how much I spent in gas in March. You'll find that out in the budget of the second quarter. I'm proud of myself because I reached my goal for the first quarter as it pertains to my emergency fund and my debt payoff goal. So we're gonna do the emergency fund first. Why? Because that money might actually have to go towards my car fund later on. But for now, I'm just going to put aside the $135. And keep in mind that this is partially bonus money and paycheck money, but we're not gonna break it down bonus versus paycheck because we'll be here all night. Uh-oh. And for those that are new, if you haven't seen it, this is my budget binder, if you will. Some of these need to be emptied because it's hard for me to turn each envelope. So, oh, maybe that's why, because this one's not in there. Shame. Okay, this is the emergency fund money. We have 2, 4, 6, 8. Uh-oh. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 30. Plus 1. What did I just do here? Oh, I didn't get the 10. 135. All right, let's try it again. And this is why I mute myself so I can fully focus on counting. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 50, 60, 65, 265. Why you didn't tell me you were too bright? For my debt payoff, the one that I'm focused on right now is the KTH debt, and that one is at 1202 total. For every quarter, if I spread it out that thin, then it would be roughly $300 and change. I have exceeded that, and for the emergency fund, if my goal is 1,000, that's $250 per quarter. I exceeded that. I'm happy about the steps that I'm taking to be financially responsible. And even though it's not putting huge chunks of money into this one thing or the other thing, or putting more money into my house to pay off my mortgage earlier, I'm still taking those steps into financial responsibility and financial freedom. So I just wanted to share that. If you are working on your budget, you shouldn't feel discouraged because you see others that are doing cash envelope stuffings with like $4,000, or if people are cash stuffing with like $1,500, that day will come for you if it's not there already. But if that is not how you are as a budgeter, then it won't be. I had to come to terms with the fact that I am not only a cash budgeter. I need to do digital, and my mom's calling.
Hello, my baby girl. How are ya?
Fine. Everything stops when my mom calls, okay? One thing I'm gonna do is have little pieces of paper everywhere. Okay. In a perfect world, this would just be sitting here until it's time for an oil change or buy tires or get brakes or get an alignment. The money would just be sitting here. Like, I don't have to stress. I don't have to worry. I have money in my car fund. I can just go get that easy. But I already got to spend it and I just put it in here. Anyway, this is kind of what my mind was trying to get on paper. And hopefully I'm putting it up on the screen so that you have a visual aid. BMF, I have $260. Car, I have $310. Groceries, $175. Home, $40. Medical, cute little $5. Personal, $90. Debt, $160. Is that correct? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. $160. Holiday, $40. Little PG is actually $20 instead of $25. I have written down $25, but it's really gonna be $20. Then we have savings, $8. We have taxes, $70. Travel, $60. Emergency fund, $135. And RH, we're gonna put $70. So let me talk about RH and then go back to the binder. Robinhood, that's what RH is. If you have no idea why I'm still using it, I mean, I talked about that in my bonus video, so it's probably up here somewhere. I want to put $70 into that account and disperse it amongst the stocks that I invest in. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not trying to be the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not trying to live my life in the boiler room. That's one of my favorite movies, by the way, and that is the inspiration for Wolf of Wall Street. But anyway, you're not here for that. I just want to be a dividend investor in the future. This is what I envision for myself. I would like to have so much money in stocks that pay a dividend. So there's some people, even on YouTube, that are dividend investors. And that means they can basically live their life off of their monthly income from these dividends that they get from these stocks. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a banker. I am not a stockbroker for now. We just put a little bit of money in these stocks every now and again, okay? So feel free to click some of the links that I have below of YouTubers that talk more about dividend investing. I think it will be beneficial to some, if not all of you, because majority of my subscribers are post-grads or those that are about to venture into that world of being a post-grad, and hopefully it helps. Start while you're young, younger than me. We haven't been using the Chime account. The whole point of me bringing up the Chime account in January was to say that we would put money in there so that the savings account that is on Chime will create money that will then go back into the debt payoff. So we have to go back to that. So that means gas money goes to Chime. That means BMF goes to Chime. That means any of these other envelopes that create an expense. For example, home. If I decide that I'm gonna finally get my water filter for my refrigerator, or I get anything else related to home goods, then I would put that money into Chime and then swipe the card. Because the difference of that amount that equals $1 will then go into the savings, and that money will go towards the debt payoff. Makes perfect sense to me. You know what I mean? And that's why I had to talk through it with you, because it wouldn't make any sense if I just showed you me separating money, me making a list and dividing it out. My debt and emergency fund will now be housed in my high yield savings account. I actually do have one with 4 subcategories, but I don't put money in there, and I really should. The money that you put into a high yield savings account will grow. The cash that you keep in your envelope, thinking that's a savings account, will stay that amount. That takes me back to an Instagram post that I saw that said, I'm paraphrasing, but it said something like, your emergency fund is not a savings account. Oh, what do you mean? What does she mean by that? What does she mean by that? What do you mean it's not a savings account? In my mind, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But realistically, it's not. Your E-fund, your emergency fund, is not a savings account. Yeah, it's great if you have $1,000, $1,500, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000. That's great. That's awesome. But the emergency fund is there for you to use it when you have an emergency. So the savings account, yeah, don't even act like it exists. But that E-fund, so if I need to pull from it, I just have to use it right now. So I'm okay with that. I'm accepting it that I might have to do that, but it sucks. It's so annoying because I would like for my car fund to already have that money in there and I won't have to keep pulling from the emergency fund. I'm just glad I have money in these envelopes. What if I only had $10 in there for a car wash? I did want to have a couple of morning announcements at the tail end, obviously. So moving forward for the second quarter, I would love it if you would just please accept the fact that the Budget With Me videos are going to be in conjunction with some other content. Hear me out. I'm going to separate the video into chapters because I find that not my air coming on. So I've decided to take a page out of Carter Sullivan's book, shout out to her, and do the monthly reset routine. And in that video, I will have a more structured layout of the budget in a way where we will dive deep into the expense trackers, the savings trackers, and I want to dedicate some time to that. I know that people do like my cash envelope stuffings, but to save myself some time, we're going to just make it a segment within a video. And I think that works out for my sanity and yours to get through it and for me to do it. The plan with me will still be separate. We're not touching the plan with me because y'all like a good plan with me. So the plan with me will be on its own. I hope that you enjoyed this because we're closing out the first quarter. It'll be April in 5 minutes. And I am going on a break. If you haven't seen my community tab, please check on that. I do update it quite frequently. But anyway, thank you again for watching. And I appreciate all of the new subscribers that I've gained. And I appreciate all of the seasoned vets in the game. Thank you for commenting, liking, and subscribing. I'm running